Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of all trades and welcome to another video. So today what we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about the Savage 110 bolt action rifle. So stay tuned and let's get right into the video.
Comes out of nowhere to lead the pack. At Augusta, he's on his final hole. He's about 455 yards away. He's going to hit about a 2 iron, I think. Well, he got all of that. The crowd is standing on his feet here at Augusta. The normally reserved Augusta crowd going wild. For this young Cinderella who's come out of nowhere, he's got about 350 yards left. He's going to hit about a 5 iron, I expect, don't you think? He's got a beautiful backswing. He got all of that one. He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy. Tears in his eyes, I guess, as he lines up this last shot. He's got about 195 yards left. Looks like he's got about an 8. This crowd has gone deathly silent. Cinderella story, out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion. It looks like a miracle. It's in the hole! It's in the hole!
And welcome back. So yes, as I stated in the intro, we're going to talk about the Savage 110 bolt action rifle. But before we do, as per the usual, I got to ask you, please go down, hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I never ask you for money. I don't have Patreon and I don't ask for tips. I just ask that you go down and hit that like and subscribe button to support this channel. Okay, the Savage 110 rifle. It's been around for years and it's quite iconic in its own right. It was brought to market in 1958 and it's still in production today, which makes the Savage 110 the longest running production rifle in history. It was designed by a man named Nicholas Brewer and it was eventually patented in 1963. Now, prior to 1958, Savage's premier hunting rifle was the Model 99 Savage, much like this example I have up here on the wall. And though the Model 99 was an iconic rifle in and of its own right, it was not as easy to manufacture, and subsequently, it was quite expensive to manufacture. Priced at $125, the Model 99 was oftentimes just a little bit out of reach by your average hunter financially. And it was really, there was not a whole lot of margin behind the Model 99, so it really wasn't doing its part to contribute to Savage's financial health. Then in 1958 along came the Savage 110 rifle, and this rifle actually came with a bunch of features that were intended to make the manufacturing process much easier and with far less expense. Kind of a funny story, the Savage 110 got the 110 designator because it sold for $110. More precisely $109.95. And it was brought to market as a strong, accurate, and very affordable rifle for hunters. And it was the first production rifle to actually be offered in a left-handed configuration right out of the factory. One of the things that made this rifle so easy to manufacture was the barrel nut design. This barrel nut right up here on the front of the receiver. That is what is actually used to attach the barrel to the receiver. Now, this barrel nut design was not first introduced by the Savage 110. It was actually introduced in the Savage 340, which preceded the Savage 110. But the design of the barrel nut allows the barrel to be installed and headspaced very easily at the factory, thus reducing production times. Additionally, the bolt on the 110 was manufactured in multiple assemblies, further reducing machining and manufacturing time, as well as improving on assembly time. The bolt of the rifle consists of a very simple tube with a forward rotating baffle and separate bolt head. That bolt head had locking lugs at one end. It had a removable bolt handle, which was attached with a threaded bolt, and a rotating rear baffle at the rear of the assembly. The striker assembly was housed inside of the bolt tube. A byproduct of this very simple design was a rifle that was also very customizable and very accurate. Furthermore, it was very quickly realized by gunsmiths and consumers that they could do their own repairs on these rifles. And that's because the Savage 110 didn't require any fancy machining or tools. to make repairs on this rifle. Guns could be very easily rebarreled with tools that are readily available. Bolts could be repaired by simply replacing parts, and if necessary, you could re-headspace the barrel easily enough to enact all of those repairs. Then in 1966, the design of the 110 was again altered to improve performance and reduce production cost. Some of those changes were the inclusion of a fully adjustable trigger as opposed to the fixed trigger, which was part of Brewer's original design. They also changed the bolt, more specifically the ejector. In the old design, the ejector was actually part of the magazine mechanism, whereas on the new design, there's a plunger that goes through the head of the bolt, which is used as the ejector for the rifle. This new ejector design also allowed the Savage 110 to incorporate a detachable box magazine. That year was also the incorporation of a hinged floor plate, whereas previously the 110 did not have a floor plate. It was a basic blind magazine, but in 1966 they added a floor plate to it. Here are two examples of rifles that I rebarreled and customized out of old, worn out Savage 110 rifles. One of these rifles was purchased at a local pawn shop, and the other was purchased at an auction. The barrels were shot out, and one had a cracked stock, so they were perfect candidates for reworking into custom target rifles. One was chambered in 223 Wild, and the other was chambered in 308 Winchester. Both were rebarreled with heavy target barrels, had customized bolts, target triggers, and Boyd's custom stocks. Single hole groupings were pretty regular from both of these rifles, so they were very, very accurate. To rebarrel a Savage rifle is actually quite simple, and like I said earlier, you can do it with regular hand tools that are readily available. All one really needs is a barrel vise. You need the wrench to remove the barrel nut, and be warned, there are a few different styles of barrel nuts, so make sure you get the correct wrench for the barrel nut you're using. You need go no go gauges so you can properly headspace the rifle, and an action wrench so that you can actually twist the action off of the barrel. It's a very, very simple process. There's plenty of videos and books out there on how to do it. So when Savage first introduced the 110, it was offered in two basic calibers, 30-06 Springfield and 270 Winchester. Then along about 1959, they started offering what they called a 110 short action, and those were chambered in 308 and 243 Winchester. And along about 1998, they re-engineered the model 110 short action, and they designated it the Model 10. Now, currently, Savage offers the 110 and all of its variants and pretty much any chambering offering that you could possibly think of. The Savage 110 is the base design for all Savage bolt action rifles currently, and the 110 has sired a whole host of rifles to include like the Model 11 and the Model 111, the Model 12 and the Model 112, the Model 14 and the Model 114, the Model 16 and the Model 116, and so on. And then it also was responsible, or the base design, if you will, for the Model 210 bolt action shotgun, as well as the Savage Access and rifles like this Stevens Model 200 that I have down here. Now, this particular rifle is chambered in 223. I bought it off of Gunbroker, and it was originally sold with a plastic stock. Now, this particular version, I took the plastic stock off of it, and I replaced it with a Boyd's laminate stock. And using 68 grain Frontier open tip match ammunition, that rifle is capable of sub MOA groups all day long, even with this cheap Simmons scope that I have mounted on it, which is really a testament to the accuracy of the Savage Model 110 design.
Don't miss. I'll be disappointed in you.
Now, the Savage 110 rifle was also used as a platform for several off-brand rifles that were sold at various department stores and hardware stores and the like. This West Point 410K is a fine example of that. It's chambered in 30-06. It's quite clearly a Savage Model 110 rifle, but nowhere on the rifle is the Savage brand annotated in any place. Rifles like the CIL, or the Canadian Industries Limited Model 950C, the Cotter and Company Model 410, the Western Auto Model 250, the Western Field Model 710, just to name a few, are additional examples where the Savage 110 rifles were simply rebranded for sale within various department and hardware stores. Now, in 1988, Savage filed for bankruptcy, and it basically cut its product offering line down to pretty much just 110 rifles. And it is very widely accepted that the 110 rifle actually saved Savage from the brink of financial destruction. And now, currently today, Savage rifles are one of the largest producers of bolt action rifles in the country. Then in 2002, Savage introduced their new AccuTrigger design. This was a very safe and user adjustable trigger that brought Savage headlong into the 21st century. Then in 2009, they introduced something called the AccuStock. This was a new stock design that basically incorporated an aluminum rail system that was embedded into the stock, and it improved action stability and accuracy overall of the rifle. Now, you're going to find Savage 110 rifles in basically every conceivable shooting space that you can possibly think of: big game hunting, varmint hunting, target shooting, F-class, precision long range, bench rest, PRS, and even sniper applications. The Savage 110 is exceedingly versatile. Now, Savage 110 bolt action rifles has seen service in sniper applications for years, most notably in the law enforcement community. The 110BA in the law enforcement version, which is marked with an LE, is widely used in the sniper spaces due to its versatility and customizable nature. This allows the shooter to basically customize and create the rifle that best suits their needs and purposes. Additionally, the Model 110 has seen service in the military, albeit not in the U.S. military, mostly within service of armies overseas. Now, I can't mention the conflict or the countries involved because YouTube will remove the video, but as of 2022, one particular country that is at odds with its neighbor is currently using the Savage Model 110 for its snipers. As of today, Savage Arms offers a wide variety of bolt-action rifles across multiple model lines, with dozens of different configurations available, including options for different calibers, stock styles, and intended uses like hunting, target shooting, predator hunting, making it nearly impossible to put a number on the current count of offerings. But suffice it to say, there is a very large selection of bolt-action rifles currently available from Savage Arms. I can tell you this with the utmost confidence: they are no longer selling for $110. I can also say with the utmost confidence it wouldn't be at all surprising to go to any range or deer camp in America and find somebody was using a Savage Model 110 rifle or one of its variants. To say that I'm a fan of Savage rifles is actually a bit of an understatement. Ever since the Model 99, I've just really liked Savage rifles. I own these two rifles right here. This particular rifle I bought at a pawn shop many years ago. It was badly neglected. I rebuilt it, cleaned it up, got it shooting good, and I gave it to one of my in-laws so that they could start deer hunting. This particular rifle is my daughter's Savage Axis. It's a 7mm 08. It's a youth model rifle. She's used this rifle to shoot deer in her first buck with, and it's just been a really good rifle for her. So to say that I'm a fan of Savage rifles is actually a bit of an understatement. I really do appreciate and love these rifles overall. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Now, if you're liking this kind of content and if you found any value in this video, please let me know in those comments. Also, do me the solid of hitting that like and subscribe button down below. That's really the only way I know if you guys like these videos, and I will continue to do more of them. As always, thank you to my longtime subscribers. Thank you to everybody who watches these videos. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.